These are the remains of a giant sloth.
One of the biggest creatures to live in Mississippi, but not even in the top 5.
I figured we could all use a break from the news, so these are the 3 largest creatures to ever exist in Mississippi. Number 3, the Columbian mammoth. As the Ice Age ended, Mississippi became home to one of the largest land mammals to ever exist, the Columbian mammoth. The mammoth could weigh up to 10 tons and was 13 feet high. Imagine that being around the size of a semi-truck. Number 2, the Mosasaurus. Before the Mississippi embayment filled up with dirt, sand, and sediment, this was all ocean, and the Mosasaurus ate very well here. It had a long snake-like body. It grew up to about 40 feet long, and it ate just about anything that it could find. The description actually makes me think of those old sea serpents from mythology, and this thing is featured at the end of the Jurassic World movie, though the size is greatly exaggerated. Honorable mention goes to the giant ground sloth, just because I love mentioning these things whenever I can. The giant sloths that roamed around Mississippi grew to around 12 to 13 feet high, and they weighed about as much as a ton. These things existed right around the same time as those mammoths. And number 1, the Basilosaurus. Back during Mississippi's ocean days, the Basilosaurus was king here. It grew up to 60 feet long, it weighed about 15 tons, and it was very much a carnivore. And one of the reasons that we know they existed around these parts is because we found an entire skeleton when we were building the spillway over the reservoir. In fact, some of the engineers that worked on that project still keep part of that skeleton on their desks.
Yeah, that thing was swimming around the res.
And those are the largest creatures to ever exist in Mississippi's part of the world that we know of.